the BTL Global Headquarters in New York, it's BTL Live. YouTube's only live streaming podcast discussing the soccer card hobby. Join the interactive program as we discuss the state of the soccer card market, individual player trends, recent sales, and more. Get your questions ready as BTL and his guests discuss the hottest topics and industry trends and keep you up to speed with all that's happening in the soccer card community. Don't forget to join their Discord server at bit.ly/BTL Discord. And now your host, Breaking the Law.
All right, welcome in. We're going to get right into it because we've got a hot topic here today, fresh off the press. This past weekend, Fab Romano dropped the news that we've all, known for 4 years now, that Mbappe had left PSG. Kylian Mbappe had left PSG and was on his way to Real Madrid. Here to discuss the impact of this move with me and particular focus on the soccer card hobby market, we've got Mr. SoccerCardsHQ, the checklist king of soccer cards himself in the building. What's going on, man? How are you?
How's it going?
It's going great. All right, so let's get right into it. We've got the Mbappe move, which feels like the longest saga in the history of sports. Years and years in the making now. And coming on the heels of Real Madrid really winning everything there already was to win this year. So what's your initial thought on the move, particular focus? We're going to start off with focusing on how it affects the hobby in particular, not necessarily on the field stuff, but we could get into that.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think a lot of people are going to be mad at what I have to say. It's not because I want to be a Debbie Downer or anything. I just think it's just what I know from cards and what I've experienced. The top dog on a team usually sucks up all the value from, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth fiddle. This happens across sports. Mm-hmm. You can look at soccer and look at, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. That obviously didn't work, but, look at him. Neymar's now worthless. Mbappe's taken a bit of a dive. And it's just like when Haaland goes to City, Foden kind of loses a lot of value. Foden got a little bit more this year because they gifted him that EPL Player of the Year for some reason. Yeah. I don't know. Like, he's not the best player on City, but whatever. Good for him.
He bounced back at the end value-wise, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but like his cards aren't where they were before Haaland got there. Obviously, there's some market stuff to that. But, in other sports, we see it, because soccer is pretty infant, as far as it's really a post-boom kind of thing. But in other sports, it's always the top guy that usually gets all the value. Like, if you're a basketball fan, since it's relevant to the finals, like, Jason Tatum gets all the value on the Celtics, even though Jaylen Brown is a really, really good player. Like, Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference MVP. He might win NBA Finals MVP. And even if he does, Jason Tatum's going to be, more.
He's the value guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that, that gets all the hype. The only time I've ever seen sustained, and I won't even say it's sustained. And by the way, before I get into this is long-term thinking. This is not like this is going to crash right away or, it's possible guys obviously will fluctuate. I'm not going to crash anybody's cards. I know there's a lot. Everybody wants to protect their bag. Nobody's going to listen. It's just something more for people to think about. In the long run, whoever is the legend from this upcoming team is probably going to get all the value. Now, soccer is a little bit unique in that we have club and we have national, right?
Right.
So if Mbappe is scoring all the goals and Jude wins a couple World Cups, then maybe they both stay up. But I even think in that situation, I think Jude takes all the value from Mbappe.
And you're just throwing Vinny Jr. out here. He's your outlier.
Well, I know, and then
he's number 3.
If Brazil, right now he's 3. He's he's cleared 3, but if Brazil wins the World Cup, then he's fine. Assuming he also has a big hand in whatever happens at Real Madrid.
It seems to be his team now. It seems to be his Brazil team now, at least with Neymar sidelined.
Yeah, I think where Vinny's prices are compared to how good he is, and right now he's the Ballon d'Or favorite, right? His prices are, and especially for somebody with 2 UCL titles now, right? His prices are nowhere near where
what they should be. Yeah,
should be. Yeah, and I think there's some factors to that. One, his rookie is pre-boom, so less people. He doesn't have a ton, anyways. And less people have them, so there's less people that need to pump his prices or protect his prices, however you want to do that.
You think it matters that it's a Don Russ versus like the Chrome, the marquee Mbappe from the 17 Chrome? You know what I mean? Like the set should matter a little in that collectability of it all.
The set matters. I mean, his trebles do pretty. He does have a treble, and it does all right. But if Mbappe's rookie was a treble, I mean, it would be ridiculous, right? If Jude's rookie was a treble or had a treble rookie. But I think it's more just lack of total investors, right? Like, I think that has a big – I think if Haaland came 1 year earlier, if Haaland was 2018, Haaland probably wouldn't have – his cards probably wouldn't be worth as much as they are, right? He was there at the perfect time for them.
Yeah. He's the guy that's sitting there when the market takes off.
He was the guy, him and Fati.
Fati. Fati Lati.
So if you were here, it was Fati and Holland, and there was other people, but those,
Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. All those rookie tickets, Chronicles rookie tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think right now it's Mbappe. If we're just on value, Mbappe, Jude, Vinny, probably Endrick. I don't know, Guler and Rodrigo.
You still got Guler. Then you got like your Luka Modric's. You know what I mean? Like Tchouaméni, the guy I collect. There's Valverde, like so many guys. I think we talked about this a little bit off screen. Where the hobby market is in Spain, and really Europe, but Spain particular, not where it is here in the United States or in the UK. No. So that's probably going to play a role, because I think of I'm an Arsenal supporter. We have multiple players on that team that are competing and pushing high prices, having won nothing, right? Having won nothing, and you still have Odegaard, Declan Rice, Saka, all kind of pushing the envelope on pricing. So I think a team can sustain 2 to 3. I think the problem in Madrid now is both on the field and off the field. How do you sustain 6 or 7 top guys? and then how do the young guys have space to come in?
They don't.
Both in the hobby and on the pitch. I think it's tough.
Arda Güler scored. I don't think a lot of people were paying attention. Arda Güler scored 6 goals and 4 starts.
At the end.
300. Yeah, right at the end. 377 minutes. He killed it. I don't even know how he sees the field next year. Now, we'll see how it all shakes out. It's still early.
Yeah.
Poor Rodrigo. He's got to go.
He's probably gone, right? Yeah.
I don't think he wants to go. I think he's more than good enough. But, if he wants to play as much as he probably feels he should, I don't see how he does it there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what? How can you invest in Arda Güler when you're not? I'm not even positive without a loan out that he's going to see more than 15, 20 minutes or sub minutes next year.
I mean, Endrick
Unless it's
too. You get all this Endrick craze, and part of that may still work out in the long run because he's not going to have very many true rookie cards based on what we think is going to happen with the rest of this year's releases. But like, how's he seeing the field next year? I mean, it's not.
I just looked up the transfer market values. Take it for whatever it is. Rodrigo's the 12th highest value in all the world.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
He can't.
He's probably 6th on Madrid. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like, what do you do? He's 1, 2, 3. He's actually only 4th, but he's 23 years old and he's a stud. But like, he's got you can already see from his values now. He's also got 2 UCL titles, scores a bunch of, Mr. Champions League type goals or whatever, and he has no value. He has nothing. So I think Endrick could be very good, but right now I'm more afraid Endrick is going to turn into a Vitor Roque situation where he's just not going to see the field.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like he can be good, but like the best thing that can happen to him is he gets loaned out. I don't think he will.
Go somewhere where he can play. I mean, it's almost like here we go. This is what I love. Here's a good comment. Ancelotti will figure out how to change their lineup. Don Carlo, don't underestimate. Most Champions Leagues ever. Don Carlo, baby.
Figure out what?
Figure out how to work.
How do you?
We're running a 110, baby.
Yeah,
110 for
yeah. Like, it's not. There's no
forwards.
figuring it out. Like,
there may be some personnel moves still to come. Who knows?
Like,
I think
what does figuring it out look like? I guess.
Well, to me, the bigger problem as it relates to the market is that the expectation is Champions League or bust, right? So if they fall short, you're screwed. Like,
you're screwed.
The expectation, the expectations now are so high that there's only room for failure, really. Like,
yeah.
I've got some graphs I'll show in terms of what's happened to some of Mbappe cards in the past week, but it's too soon to tell. There's an initial transfer bump like we sometimes see, but in terms of if on-the-field performance is going to indicate something or have some correlation with hobby value, I mean, they have to win it. They have to run it back. I mean, there's no way if Man City or anybody else snakes them to it. I don't see them losing their La Liga at this point. Barcelona's a disaster, but maybe.
Like I said to you off air, Haaland prices are down, right? That's no secret. Even though he won another Golden Boot, ran away with another EPL Golden Boot. They won for the 4th in a row. I'm not saying he had a great season, but
he didn't look great doing it. Didn't look great. He disappears.
He didn't look great doing it, but he could be the biggest benefactor to this because there is the kind of like Mbappe Haaland thing, and if somehow City takes down the new giant, like, can't that only help Mbappe? I mean, can't that only help Haaland? Like,
yeah.
It's like, or whoever ends up doing it, I don't know, but they have to win. Madrid just won 2 out of the 3 last titles, right? So what if they somehow only win 1 of the next 3? That's a failure, right?
I mean, it has to be.
In public perception.
Yeah. You get the Kevin Durant to the Warriors thing. Like, there's no room for anything other than UCL victory. Like, anything else is a failure. Yeah.
Anything else is a failure. And only one of these guys can win. Like, it's not like they're all, well, I guess you could, technically say Vinicius and Rodrigo, but out of the big guys, they're not. Well, you can't have France. You almost need England.
You almost need England. Yeah. Yeah.
You need Jude. You kind of need Jude more than Mbappe.
More than Mbappe. Yeah. Shit.
That's the thing. Like, only one of them can win.
It's as it relates, and then to bring it back to the hobby, right? Because we're talking about on the field performance, but if you bring it back to the hobby, as I see it, being in breaks, running breaks. Like, there's not very many true Real Madrid collectors. Like, I just don't see them in our circles. Like, I'll buy into Real Madrid spots because I'm buying one guy for a specific reason. But it's not like I see, some of these people buying, like I'm going to buy Arsenal spots because I'm a fan of the team. Like, that's just not present in the United States, despite the fact that they have a huge fan base here. I mean, you go to these games.
I think they have the biggest social following of any team in the world.
It feels a lot like Man City to me as well in terms of the hobby, where there does not seem to be this huge, rabid collector base, at least on the lower end. Maybe on the high-end cards, different market. But like when we're talking about your mass-produced stuff, Chrome that's coming out, like those people they're chasing for like, no one's buying Endrick spots because they're a fan of his team in Brazil. Like, you're buying it to get the rookie and have some value and either flip it or hold it, And that's how it feels with almost every Real Madrid spot as well. Like, you're not – there's some Luka Modric collectors that I know of, and I PC Chouameni a little bit, but, I don't know a ton of, like, Vinny Jr. guys,
There's a couple, obviously, but Rare Soccer Card said it yesterday when all those 101s dropped, right? He's like, if this was an Arsenal or this was a United player –
would have been gone.
These cards,
instant.
No matter how, like, they were overpriced, maybe whatever you think of it, but they would have been gone. And they sat there and they sat.
They were over. I just threw I'm excited about this topic. I'm glad you brought this up. They were overpriced. If your plan was to get that card and sell it, they're overpriced.
Correct.
If you are a collector, it's not over. Like, that's a good price. Like, they're high.
I thought it was fair. I thought it was more fair than people,
Yeah. So, like, I think that goes to Rare's point and my point, which is, if it's Arsenal, if it's Arsenal, it's a few $1,000 for a 1-on-1 on card. Well, I think they were on card. It was hard to tell.
I think they're sticker. They're sticker.
Then a little.
If they're
high.
on card, I don't think there would have been the pushback.
But for a collector, they're going to sell out. And they have sold out now, right? Like, I think they're all sold out at this point. Or Topps has done their funny business. Yeah. But they just don't have that. They don't seem to have that rabid collector fan base of the team, of the club. Which is weird because as a club themselves, like, they're pretty well run, and they always say no player is bigger than the club. Like, they do have this ability to kind of keep everybody in check.
Yeah, I was in Barcelona in October of last year, and I looked for a shop. There is no shop there. Basically, there's newsstands where they had some, like Match Tax and Adrenaline, but like maybe Madrid. I don't think there's much in Madrid. I don't think there's a show in Madrid. Maybe there's a shop or two that I'm not going to speak to it definitively, but like the Spain hobby is not as big as, like you said, they're not as big as France, they're not as big as Germany, they're surely not as big as the UK, So it's like, that's the other problem, as you brought up. You need a collector base that wants these guys for more than just flipping.
More than flipping, yeah. I think that's what, if there was like a central point that I wanted to make, it's that the you need to have those fans that want to acquire these cards and hold them to balance out the flipping, because everything now in the Madrid space feels like flipper. Like, it just feels,
we don't need to talk about Madrid. The whole soccer card space needs that. The whole soccer card space needs more collectors, less flippers.
Yeah. I mean, one of the problems, and we talked about this a little bit, or we have talked about it before. It's a young part of the hobby overall, right? And there is, we can hem and haw about this, but there's a barrier to entry here. There's not a clear chase rookie, definitive rookie card. All these players. Look at the gymnastics we had to just do. You and I both very into collecting. Like, well, what's the actual rookie? Like, is it does it matter that it's a Don Russ rated rookie and when it came out and they don't have a treble? Like, that's impossible for people to figure out. Like, there's a huge barrier to entry national team, club team, what's more important? There's a great comment from Bryn as it relates to Holland, which ties in here, I think. Holland's ceiling is capped by lack of city fans, yes, and lack of national team success. Like, the hobby, soccer card hobby is growing, and it's not down more, like singles are not down more than they are in other sports for this year.
You want a hot take? How about this for a hot take? Real quick. Let me get this. There's more city collectors than there are Madrid collectors. I'm not saying fans. I know more high-end city collectors than Madrid.
I bet that's true. Of the team. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's.
I don't think I disagree with
saying,
that. Yeah.
It's not a lot of both. Don't get me like I'm.
It's not a lot of both. It's not a lot.
But and yes, my only pushback to that would be yes, the national team means something, but like if Holland ever makes a World Cup and does anything, like the expectations, like we talked about earlier, he has no national team expectations. So if he does anything, then that's a win. These other guys, they play, for Brazil, France, and England.
Elite teams.
So it's only like, yes, they have obviously a chance to win, but if they don't, they're that's a failure to meet expectations again.
National team cards don't. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
National team cards don't matter outside of major tournament sets. Okay, so this is a slight detour, but the position is this particular collector does not like that they put the national team into like Donruss randomly. Like, if you could put these guys in their club kits like a Holland, why put them in it? Why put Norway in? Like,
I would rather have a rookie in a national kit than a rookie in most club kits.
All right, let's do this.
Regardless of the year.
Perfect segue for me because I have two data points that we're going to look at just in the past week. I want to look at two little charts that I took a screenshot of and talk about them. Let's see if we can do this. All right. So the first is Kylian Mbappe 2017 Topps Chrome, the set to collect, or one of the sets to collect in a base PSA 10, because this is where I could get some data. Up 13% since Fab Romano's announcement. No, is this a month? Up 13% on the month. So the day after PSG exits Champions League semifinal to today, we've had 13 sales, about a $20 fluctuation. Not huge. And then the other Mbappe card, kind of a rookie, a Wookie. Wookie has now become a thing, so you've achieved that, if nothing else, in this life. Yes. 2018 Prism World Cup PSA 10 base, up 21%, same time period. So this is at a time, if you track, I use Card Ladder, which, okay, say whatever you want about the purity of the data, but if you look at their soccer card index over the same period of time, it's down 1%. So at a time where the singles market is down a little bit, and most sectors of the overall hobby are also down, the exception being some NBA cards that are crazy through the roof because of the finals. Like, though in the past month, he's gone up. So does Mbappe have more room to grow at Madrid from a value perspective?
Real quick, one of the reasons I hate the Wookie, I know it's World Cup Prism, so that's why, but it's not his first card. He has a rookie in a France kit, which it's a select, the select unlimited potential. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why like that Wookie is a Wookie, but I get that it is, and because of the lack of the RC, it's it doesn't matter. But going forward, to like do people want Mbappe outside of his rookie? I would say outside of his rookie, nobody wants an Mbappe PSG card. He did not. I mean, he's a legend.
He didn't do anything there. Yeah,
but he didn't. Well, he did things, but he didn't do the most important thing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Not relative to what they should have done, I think, is the.
Yeah, you could say he had more success at Monaco, taking that team to the semifinals.
Into the semifinals, yeah.
Than anything he did for PSG. I mean, he made
and
the
was
final
already on a
forever.
super team. Like, was already on a super team at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, so. I mean, I guess maybe the rookie. Like, why isn't everybody pumping the unlimited potential right now? Because nobody has them.
Nobody has them. and, everybody's got, I mean, and, look, Chrome and 2018 are like hobby darlings, right? Like, those are the sets for whatever reason. I don't personally collect them, but, that's just like what people point to as like anchor, 14, 18, and then the 17 Chrome are like the anchor sets of like what's supporting the, the consistent value in the hobby, right? All right, we got some good questions, though. Let's take some of these. Holland Norway cards will never be worth a lot because Norway will never go far in the World Cup. Okay. Yes. Fair.
Yeah, sure. Fair, whatever.
All right, let's say. This is the one I saw. Today, the user, all right, Chicago Soccer Cards said, an important reflection about overprinting and the overwhelming amount of new products they release every week. I did see his post. The value of the cards is decreasing more and more. Do you think the same? Well, low end, yes. High end, I disagree. But I do think you look at like a Vinny Jr. Gold Atomic, which is probably one of the nicest looking base cards, the Gold Atomic from Merlin. One of the nicer looking base cards you can get. And it's like, why can I buy one of these for $20? Why? How?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
I wanted you to get everything out because I'm about to go on a rant.
Here we go.
I just
strap in, folks. This is where we get our click from.
Yeah. So overproduction is killing singles prices. The soccer card hobby is not dead. The soccer card hobby is not dying. The soccer card hobby is as strong as ever. We've had a show. We just had a show this past weekend in Milan. First time ever. There was a show in Portugal. There's a show in Dublin, Ireland earlier this year. Granted, not only soccer cards, but like soccer
mostly.
Mostly there was Thailand. They just had a whole soccer get together. Like Asia, they've it's been a few years now, but they have they have a huge show last year that's coming back this year. Soccer card hobby is not dead. It's not dying. Everybody's saying that because they see their singles prices and they're like, oh, this thing is dead. Well, that's because, excuse my French, all you idiots are buying this overpriced, overproduced, ultra-modern, playing the lottery, gambling, spending all your money, shoveling it right to Topps and Panini and all the breakers, and you guys are complaining because there's no money for singles. Well, let me tell you a little something. If you took all that money and you bought singles instead of donating it and filling the pockets of these corporate overlords, singles prices would be
higher,
much higher, and you would feel much better about your collection.
And you'd have a sick ass collection for sure.
And yeah, you know what you can buy? You know what? Like you can buy sick ass cards right now for $300.
Oh yeah,
right? Like that, that you would be so proud of. Like that you would like for most people, like I would say 90% of the soccer card hobby. Take that $300 you just donated on a box of worthless pristine and go buy yourself a really, really nice card.
Say what you want. Say what you want. All my pristine cards gemmed.
They needed to.
They needed to. It was rough. I've been running a lot less breaks. Like we did one last night of last year's first edition because I really like it, and I had the case at an affordable price. I've got 2 cases of the Donruss Blasters because I want to see a gold power come out. But we run a lot less because, I do agree. I mean, I think the space to be in right now is the singles market. The prices are down, but I don't think they'll stay down forever. We've got a big summer of soccer ahead of us, which is super exciting. And the hobby is bigger. The hobby as a group has grown. We've got some fun stuff lined up this summer. Those guys we're a sponsor. Those guys are throwing the Soccer Card Expo at the National Convention in Cleveland at the end of July. So there's a lot of promise on the horizon. The overprinting is is for sure a drag. And then anything that's like numbered to 50 or higher, you're just wasting your money. Like there's
somebody asked me I think it was yesterday or the day before on DM. They said, would you buy a box of the new Select Serie A, wait for Select Premier League, or buy a 2022-23 Chronicles box, right?
Hobby?
And I was like, if you're hobby. And I was like, if you're
Is there a
willing to
none?
spend that,
Is there a none option?
no. My advice to him, and I don't like giving like financial, like I'll never be like, well, this is the best set, blah blah blah. I just said, if you're willing to spend that, why are you not buying a 2020 Topps hobby box of whatever product that you like? Like, because they're the same price, if not cheaper, and you might actually hit something that people are going to want 10 years from now, right? Like
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters what you're trying to do in this scenario. Like, I don't know why 2020 Topps hobby boxes are so cheap. Like, why they're $250 for a chrome box or whatever it is. Like,
great set, great rookies. Yeah. I mean,
great set, great rookies, ones that people actually want. Like, what now you're gonna chase? Like, look, I think Endrick has the potential to be incredible. So like,
we have a good Endrick question lined up too. Good Endrick question.
Okay.
Too. Yeah.
But like a lot of these guys, you're just trying to. You're gambling, and it's short-term gambling. It's not even long-term gambling. It's short-term gambling. We have established possible superstars. What are we doing?
I mean, this just exists. This is just a human problem. I mean, it's a human problem because
it's a human problem.
It's psychology.
I
like
agree.
The same reason that every idiot plays the lottery, but no one's in the stock market, right? Like it's the same thing, right? Like it's just, and you just have a hobby full of people who have an addictive personality. So like you're gonna get like breaks are more social, they're more fun. So like I have this debate with ADOT all the time, like. If you're on a fixed budget, it's different. But if you have more money coming in and coming out, and you're trying to balance community with value, joining the breaks and taking a risk is more fun, more social than just buying singles, which you could do by yourself without any interaction with anybody, right?
No, I agree. This is not like necessarily anti-breaker, like to be anti-breaker.
We have this debate every stream we do, by the way, every time.
I know. But it's just because to me it is the debate, right?
It's a pervasive thing. Yeah.
It is the most important thing in the hobby, in my opinion. And like the funniest part to me, they had the Topps Industry Conference, right? Mm-hmm. And basically they invited essentially a bunch of breakers there, and some card shop owners and breakers, right? People that were in the side of making money on sealed products. And to a T, they all came back and they were like, oh man, this is exciting. The hobby's in such a great spot. Everything is great. Fanatics is great. They're going to lead us to the promised land. And look, if I made money from selling sealed wax in whatever way possible, I'd be ecstatic too. Like they're doing things to make gamblers want to gamble.
Especially if you get that sweet allocation pricing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would be, but what percentage of the hobby is that? 10%? That are breakers or card shop owners or whatever selling.
Oh yeah. Small,
so,
smaller than that, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So it's a big minority. So if I was one of those guys, just worried about money, I'd be like, yeah, man, Fanatics, they're the best thing ever. Look, but we know what they're doing. They're putting in big chases, a couple big chases. So the lottery grand prize is better, and then people, enter the lottery.
Messi on card auto, Jude 1-of-1 inscription auto. Yeah. They know how to do it, man. It's a business.
No, it's a bit. Look, they are treating it like a business, as they should. This is not like anti-Fanatics to be, but like, it's just they don't care about the collector. What are they doing for the collector? They're making sure redemptions get fulfilled and giving you a longer. That's great. Everything else, it's geared towards breaking / box prices. And that's what the business they're in. I'm not hating. Like, that's what they should be doing. But, like, don't, these breakers trying to shove it down everybody's throat that old Fanatics is doing it. They're great for the hobby. But no. There's 12,000 cases of Topps Chrome coming out or whatever it is. I forgot the exact number. Like, that's not good. Like, that.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
And,
yeah,
like,
11,000. You did 11,000, you said, not including blasters.
Okay, yeah, 11,000, not including blasters. Right? And so,
what could go wrong?
Said, and somebody commented, because I post, like, I'm not, if they come out with something cool, like, whatever, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is cool. And then when the sell sheet came out, somebody commented on Twitter, I think it was like, am I forgot exactly what he said, I'm paraphrasing, but am I wrong to be somewhat excited for this, or it was something along those lines. I forgot exactly. And I said, the print run kind of takes away like the potential for something like really, really incredible. There's going to be some incredible cards, but like a product as a whole, or people not getting their teeth kicked in, overproduction means most people are going to get their teeth kicked in. That's just the way, unless, because we know basically what they're going to price. We know exactly what they're going to price that at. But, like if Select Serie A was a $200 product, that would be awesome. Select Serie A was $440.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like you're trying to have it both ways, because you're simultaneously complaining about the overprinting, and then Panini releases a product that is perfectly printed, and you're complaining about the price. So, like, at some level, they have to sustain the business, right? So, like, and I don't know what their balance sheet looks like, but they've got to print enough of this shit to make money on it, but you don't want them to print so much that it dilutes the value. Where is the equilibrium? Where's the happy medium? Because you got 400 some odd cases of Select Serie A, super short printed product, too expensive.
Here's what I'll say. Last year was good, but look, last year's is $325 now.
I would buy last year, for sure.
Exactly.
I think that's not Panini's fault, in my opinion. It somewhat is, because they control how they price it, but there's just not as many Serie A chases this year compared to last year. It's the rookie classes, flipped leagues, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's if 2020, so 2020 is when they really upped production, right? 2019 a little bit. 2020 they went, balls to the wall. Well, what felt like balls to the wall at that point, right? Even at that level, like those I looked it up the other day. I did, obviously it's in the review, but I don't know. I think there was like 4,500 cases of 2020 Chrome, I think. Somewhere around there, right? Mm-hmm. And those boxes are $250. So how is this year with 11,000 cases $200, $190, right? Like, how does that ever make sense?
I mean, they just choose the price. I mean, you got two. We only got two manufacturers, right? So like you're somewhat over a barrel, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
And Panini, in my opinion, if I'm ranking the two, Panini is far less responsive to consumer demand, feedback. I've had far more interactions with Topps employees than I've ever had with a Panini employee ever at any point in time. It feels like a company that's failing. It feels like they're grasping at straws. And as it relates to Select Serie A pricing, it feels very much like they think Kavica is still a rookie this year, and he's not. Because you can't price that product at 400 whatever bucks with the checklist that's in that product. I mean, you just can't. You look at what stained glasses are doing for this year. It's terrible. Did we lose Scott? We may have lost you. Did you freeze? Oh, baby. Well, good time to go through some of the comments. You could be... Oh, here he's coming back. He's coming back. He's back.
I lost you. Sorry.
All right, we're going to go through some of the comments and questions real quick. You can be an idiot at a blackjack table, or you can know how to play. If you know what you're doing in a specific break or product, it's fine. That is fair. If you know what you're doing and you know where the ROI is for a seasoned person, you're going to be okay. I think the issue is for new people. The first problem is for new people, it's so incredibly confusing if you already don't understand soccer, because why are there 4 different select products? Like, it just makes no sense. It just makes no, like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's a high barrier to entry.
You can make money in cards. Everybody can't make money in cards because it's physically impossible. Are there some break spots that are probably decent ROI? Yes.
Yeah,
everybody can't have that. Not
everybody gets it. Yes.
I
mean, there's got to be winners and losers, of course.
And
that goes to knowing checklist and pricing. There are definitely some breaks that are the same as hitting on 14 when the dealer shows a 6. I like that.
Yeah.
There was a question I want to go back and talk about because you brought up Endrick. Where the hell was that question? All right.
Like I said, I don't care what people do with their money. Like, it is gambling, right? We can't ignore it. But when people, the thing that gets me is, the soccer card hobby is dying because singles prices are in the toilet. Well, I get there's probably more. I say this every live, but some people aren't going to watch every live. There's more money being spent than ever on soccer cards. That's just the way.
I totally agree. Of all the people, and we do have people, because I run the Discord, so we'll have people that are either exiting the hobby or paring down their involvement, and without a shadow of a doubt, every single one of those people in the past 6 to 8 months, or people that are complaining, are the ones that I see buying into stupid ass shit all the time with terrible ass teams. Like, if you're going to be, like, if you want to collect Tier 1 Bundesliga, that is fine, but you just have to know you're not getting your fucking money back if you're joining all those breaks. Like, if you're buying into Bundesliga, like, you're just not. Like, there's just no fucking way. There's no way. We can't make, this is not for kids anymore. Like, and it's always these, like, the shit teams, and then people complain that you can't sell Luton Town cards. Like, no shit, you can't sell those cards. Like, I mean...
and the problem is every break needs to be filled, right?
Sure.
And there's 2 things. You very rarely see auction, like, especially on eBay. I know they cut down on who they allowed to run breaks, which was part of the problem. But like, maybe I checked yesterday or maybe the day before, there wasn't even a Serie A Select like PYP or PYT going on eBay. So you have all these set price breaks, right? And they have to fill, right? So, and people are going to, if they have to fill, one of 2 things happen. Everybody knows that some of these teams are overpriced, so they don't buy, but then we go to a filler, and, like, a filler is just gambling on top of gambling, right? And so that's the problem. Like,
the mega filler.
Yeah.
I've never once, and I don't run as many breaks as some, but I've never once had a filler. Never had it. I'll just take a beating on the spot and move on.
You have to. Yeah, there should not be a filler. That's going to be a hot take. People are going to be like, filler means your crap is overpriced. That's what a filler means. And then you want people to gamble on top of gambling.
Yeah.
They're already gambling. You're already, like, all
right, let's bring it back to Real Madrid before every breaker starts sending me pissy DMs. All right, I'll give you the same question I asked Brian. Would you rather have the Endrick rated rookie gold, sexy, or the Endrick Copa America Prism gold to 10?
No, this is a no-brainer. If anybody says anything but the Prism Brazil card,
thank God. I was nervous because he's like, it's a no-brainer. I'm like, don't fuck this up, Anthony.
No. Look,
I'll tell you the card I do want, and it's the first green card I've ever wanted. I want that rated rookie green to 5, right?
Yeah, it does. It does look pretty cool. And look, I love that they put him in Donruss and Palmer.
Yeah,
I love it. But considering it's the same year, effectively,
same year.
I mean,
right.
There could be. Here's the thing: it kind of makes it a Wookiee because it like the Palmeiras is the season. So I could. I mean, I can.
No, it's not. You can't. You're getting too Wookiee specific here.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, okay, I'll say this: they're both. If they both have the RC, if they
Yeah.
both have the RC, if the Copa doesn't have an RC, give me the Palmeiras.
It's gonna
But
have
I
the.
think
I
they're
mean,
both
it's
good.
1,000% gonna have the rookie shield. Yeah. Well, the rated
It's gonna
rookie doesn't
have
have the RC. It's got the rated rookie patented trademark logo. But yeah. I mean, Endrick has what, 4 cards in the Donruss set? 3 cards. Got the rookie kings, the rookies. Yeah, three different cards in the
and the
Donruss
Kaboom.
set. And a
Kaboom.
Kaboom 4. Yeah.
Here, I mean, as an overall, like if give me, unless if the rookie is like a United or an Arsenal player, that would be like the only, Madrid maybe, probably not, but that would be the only time I'd want the actual maybe. The only time it's even a question. Other than that, give me national, because at the end of the day, the guy's not changing nationalities, right? So it's like,
Yeah, consistent, right?
Because Odegaard. Look at Odegaard. Came up in Madrid, right? He has Madrid cards.
Mm-hmm.
Madrid hates it because they, let go of
They let him go.
Good player.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they let go of a good player. And then an Arsenal person's never going to want, but he's kind of hard because it's Norway, and so nobody wants Norway either. So, but yeah, unless if it's like a big team and you think that they're going to stay there. But like, look at all these guys. They're just moving so much. And this is only when they have a national card that's at the same time, right? Like, I don't want a national card, way after the fact.
No.
But
So compare it to Holland. Would you rather? Because you'd rather have the Salzburg prize
I'm a
footballers
Salzburg.
over the Dortmund.
Anybody that knows me knows me. I'm a Salzburg truther to the core of core.
1,000%. Give me that finest.
1,000%.
Give me that finest rookie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that because it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
So they're at let's bring it full circle here. So we're talking about Mbappe coming in. So you still rather have you're on the record. You want the unlimited or whatever the fuck it's called. Select.
Unlimited
potential.
I didn't pull the trigger. So there's numbered. There's
Camo,
numbered
right?
They have. There's more than that. I'm mad that I didn't pull it. The one came up. I forget when it was. To me, that's a classic card. Like, it's just a great card. Maybe the hobby never catches up, but that's where I want to be. I want to be in the earliest national. Yeah, like to me that because it just feels safe.
Yeah. Yeah, Breakfast is here now. He says, "Hey, fellas, finally joined live. What's up, Breck?" Here he is, the man, the YouTube king.
He missed the part where the part where he hated us, or at least
You should have heard him earlier.
No, like I said, it's not. This is not. Whatever.
Every single one of these goes this way. They all go this way.
Yeah.
They all go this way.
Yeah, we can start wherever we want, but that's where we're at. But
I mean, the reality is, especially as it relates to Real Madrid, it is a breakers issue because you're now going to see that spot broken up into 19 different PYP. Like, you can't sell Madrid. I always feel bad for, like, you're like, my buddy's a Dutch fan, and so, like, he couldn't buy Feyenoord spots because, like, the Santi Jimenez, who he's not collecting, like, unless that's carved up, you always feel bad for, like, the Luka Modric fans. Right? Like, you just can't you're not going to take the grenade of $600 Real Madrid spot to chase Luka Modric. So you're just relegated to singles, basically.
Let's go full circle, or back to the original topic.
Yeah.
Why aren't Luka Modric cards worth a ungodly amount of money? What more?
Six Champions Leagues, or what does he got?
Yeah.
5,
and,
6.
And more, arguably the most overachievement of a national team of
Ever.
any player,
Multiple times.
ever.
Yeah.
But he and he won a Ballon d'Or, so like,
yeah.
But he was kind of all like, he was, even though he was the best player. He was never like the guy.
Midfielder. He's a midfielder. Yeah.
He's
So
a
is
midfielder.
Jude, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing in a different role, but yeah.
A different role, but it's like how does Jude? So Jude scored 19 goals this year. Vinny didn't play. Well, he played like half the season, a little over half the season. Where to me, this was the perfect storm for Jude. Right? He scored.
No striker.
They had no strike. They brought in Joselu. That was it. Right? So they have no and then Vinny was banged up to start the season. Jude was scoring he seemed to score it would seem like a game winner, every other week or whatever. Became the club hero immediately, but if Mbappe is on Madrid this year, Jude's not scoring all those important goals. You know, so how? Look, this is full disclosure. I own a lot of 2020 wax. Almost every Jude card I got this year, I sold. I have the funny part is I actually have a bunch coming from Card Hobby that I bought forever ago.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Who knows if I'll get them?
Yeah.
And then I had one Fusion rookie at PSA that I just don't have back yet. But yeah, I mean, I sold a ton of Jude this year. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I guess, because I don't know how it gets better for him.
I don't see how it gets better.
National.
Yeah.
National team, maybe. And I think Jude, is incredible. But we have to play the circumstance, right? What's the chances of Jude Bellingham being the top scorer on Real Madrid next year?
0. Next to 0. Has to be.
Yes.
Has to be.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a lot of injuries. Right?
Yeah.
And so, so he's probably not going to be scoring those game winners, right? And so I wanted to look up his game log.
Yeah, his values have gone down since he stopped being a forward, and then he's English, which is a huge part of it. Name the last Luka Modric interview you saw. That's a big part of it. I do think Jude is a great player, one of the best in the world. If we're talking about is there room for more growth hobby-wise on the value of his cards, I think that's where he may be. He needs to do one more. He needs a big thing. He's got to, he is a face of the hobby. I agree with that. Topps is running him out on all the covers of all their boxes. You got to have, can they win the year? They got to win a big national team tournament, and then, winning another Champions League. He's going to need a few more of those.
He scored. I'm looking at his game log right now. Since February 10th, he scored 3 goals. After February 10th,
you're just giving Ryan Mims fodder for his pro Chris Wood arguments here, where he said Chris Wood is a better, technically better player than Jude Bellingham, scores more goals.
It's not. This is not meant to be.
He's typing. I can already see he's gonna be hitting the comment section here in a minute.
He's not. This is not meant to be an anti-Jude thing. I think Jude's incredible, right? It's just a circumstance thing. When Real Madrid had a fully healthy team, they did not need to rely on Jude as much, and therefore Jude didn't score as many goals. That doesn't mean he was any worse. He scored less goals, and if you don't score goals in this hobby, you eventually your prices,
otherwise we'd all be collecting Paolo Maldini cards. If goals didn't matter.
We'd be collecting Luka Modric cards.
Cannavaro, Luka Modric. Yeah. So
it's that's more where I'm coming from. Now, could England win the Euros? Jude's gonna be a huge benefit, right?
Sure.
But this, as I said at the beginning, this is a long-term overtime. How does this all kind of play out? And so now it just feels shaky to me. It's not where I'd want to be.
If you're a Madrid fan, obviously, shit, yeah. You're any team's gonna take an Mbappe, right?
Yeah.
It's just not even a question.
This is for the. Yeah.
This is for the manager to figure out, and I trust Don Carlo will do it. For me, because I'm more of a, like, I think Vinny should be more valued than he is. So I'm interested to see, I think a lot of how this sets up is going to depend on what happens over the course of the next 6 weeks here, right? So let's see what happens in these summer tournaments, how that sets everybody up for the season, and we'll have a million releases between now and then of cards.
For the same reason I said earlier, Haaland is worth more than Vinny. Jude is worth a good bit because there's a lot of Jude rookie. He kind of, I would actually say Haaland was kind of the perfect because there was multiple sets or whatever. But Jude was a really, really good mix of not huge overproduction, but yet enough production to where people have his cards that want to protect the pricing, or whatever term you want to use, right? He was in like a good spot of where he didn't have Panini, right? So he only has tops, and there's enough, but there's not too many to where you have to go gold or less, right?
Yeah.
All these guys now, or not all the guys, but a lot of the guys now, that is the problem, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at Lamine Yamal, right? like you're gonna they're all gonna be worthless. I mean, there's just gonna be too many. Garnacho, same.
Julian Alvarez won treble.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez won World Cup. Julian Alvarez, I think, was, I don't know, 5th or 6th in Ballon d'Or or something or whatever. And Julian Alvarez's cards are worth nothing. And that even that goes back to the original topic of it's because Haaland.
Too many players on that team. Yeah.
It's Haaland. It's Foden. Like the city team doesn't even have the hobby problem that Madrid has, and even they can't beat it. Like
from the hobby perspective, yeah.
From the hobby,
I mean, their best player is a midfielder, and his cards are worthless.
Yeah,
the two best players.
Yeah,
yeah. Rodri and KDB. Yeah.
Like
we got a question. Sorry if I missed this, but are we buyers on Arda Güler?
Oh,
no.
Joe. Joe. That's a big no.
No, not right now. I mean, I like the Merlin. Like, if you can get into a decent Merlin, not too expensive, but not Real Madrid cards.
Yeah, I'm. You know when I'm a buyer of Arda Güler? When they say he's loaned out to
Girona,
Leverkusen.
Yeah, Leverkusen. Yeah.
That,
some club that's not in Saudi Arabia or Turkey. Yeah.
Not Saudi Arabia or Turkey. Imagine Endrick on Girona last year. Now there's something where, this could pop off. He's going to be in Champions League.
Yeah.
He's going to have a chance to score as much as he wants. He could take down. I mean, they probably wouldn't take down the Giant, but at least he has a chance to shine. Now next year he's going to be playing, 600 minutes. He's going to score 4 or 5 goals, and then it's Moukoko. It's Moukoko over again, all over.
The thing I'll say about Güler is, as a short-term play, if you think, he's a superstar in Turkey, so if you think that they're going to make a run in the Euros, as a short-term play, it may not be terrible. But if you're playing, we're talking specifically today about how Madrid's season sets up from a hobby perspective. It's going to be tough for him to get on that field, I think, and that's what's guiding our hesitancy more than anything.
Yeah, we can't. It's maybe we should be having this in September instead of June, because then maybe it shakes out Rodrigo's gone and somebody gets loaned out, but Vinny's not getting loaned out.
Well, you got Cruz gone, so you could still run 4-3-3 somehow, incorporating Güler, I guess, a little bit. Not as an everyday starter though. He won't be.
Well, he was playing up top when they put him in, this at the end of the year, and it's not going to happen.
Not as a starter. No, not as an everyday. No.
No, not as a starter. So it's where does what Real Madrid scores 90 goals next year. Mbappe 25, maybe Vinny 25, and then so you have 40 goals for everybody else.
Everybody else,
including Jude Bellingham. It's like
yeah. In a hobby where goals matter, that's the problem. You say super team and everybody has stars in their eyes, but I think what we've kind of hit upon during this chat is that when the rubber meets the road, the expectations are super high, and is there any room for some of these guys to break in from a hobby perspective? That's the trouble.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I guess you could say, Jude gets 20 assists, and 12 goals, and now he has 32 contributions. But like contributions,
yeah,
it's not what the.
Oh, we didn't even talk about my boy Brahim Diaz, who had a great at least first half of the year. No value in his cards. Yeah.
No, Brahim got Brahim Diaz. Like they're all like you. I mean, he's not. He's more of a defensive mid, but like Fede Valverde,
basically no value. Yeah.
No value. It's like one of Camavinga or Tchouaméni have to play in the midfield. Right? They're incredible players, right?
Yeah.
Like you can put one back and one up, but like they're really really good. So like that high, they're gonna play. So if like Fede Valverde takes a spot, and one of the defensive midfielders, and then Jude's kind of there. Like, how do you make it?
Where's Guler go? Where's Diaz go? Where's Endrick go? Yeah. I mean, we're just already kind of assuming they're going to figure it out up top with Vinny and Mbappe, which I still think could be a struggle because they both want to play in the same position.
Yeah, who plays on the left?
Yeah, Mbappe. I mean, it's got to be Mbappe. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, do they play two wingers and put Mbappe in like the striker position, which I'm not sure is like the best thing for it. Like,
plus he always throws a hissy fit when he has to play through the middle.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play through the middle. No. But like I said, I don't want to get into is it going to work. Like Don Carlo can figure it out. Whatever figuring it out means, he ain't going to figure it out for the hobby because unless he figures out how you
never know. The eyebrow, you never know.
And all of a sudden, we look like idiots. Real Madrid scores 137 goals next year, and the crowd goes wild.
This is good. This is a good way to end it. Mbappe gonna play left wing back. Clearly, absolutely.
We figured it out, and guess what?
There it is, folks.
There goes his values.
There it is, folks.
I am not picking who's going to have the most value or whose value is going to go up and whose value is going to go down. My whole basis is a lot of people are going to go down and one person probably going to go up and maybe 0 people are going to go up if they start losing. That's the ceiling
is so high that losing just really means not winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
Or like somehow faltering in La Liga, which could always happen. I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll play. But look, BVB outplayed Real Madrid in the final.
Definitely in the first half, for sure, 1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously they're going to be next year. But this is the problem. Like, this is why in sports where the final is one game, no matter what the sport, you don't always get the best one. The best team does not win the Super Bowl every year.
Right.
The best team does not win Champions League every year. The best team probably wins the NBA Finals every year, right? Just because of the seven game nature.
Yeah.
So it's like anything can happen in a game of soccer. And if they just have a bad day, they hit 2 posts instead of, it being 2 inches over and they lose the Champions League, that's a failure of a season.
Yeah, and what does it do for the market? I mean, we're specifically focused on what does it do? What does it do for the market? Is there room for more growth even with all these superstars on Real Madrid? And it seems like it's going to be tough for some of these guys to grow their hobby value.
If you're deep in a Madrid bag of like all these guys, you should be in Madrid opening up a card shop and opening up a breakers and you should be like, if you want to protect your bag, go to Madrid. And
Madrid Cards HQ coming soon near you. Trademark,
like
copyright.
Go grow the hobby in Madrid, and maybe you got a chance. Outside of that, like whatever, like I don't see it. You know,
I don't see it. Well, all right. No more questions. This has been a good hour. We'll be back soon. We got a lot of releases coming up. Chrome coming in 3 weeks from today. We've got Museum Collection 12 days from today. Oh, baby. Topps just ram it all down our throats. Here we go.
Don't even get me started. This is when all the products are coming out. This is like, you want to know what everything's coming out after the season's over. They would never do this in baseball. Like, what are we doing here?
They're dropping two releases during a baseball season. Like, they supplement the release.
No,
yeah,
three.
Yeah,
Three.
Yeah, update. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, 4. Well, they're doing 1, 2 update in Chrome, right? And at some point, they always make sure to get one out before.
We need another whole podcast just to talk about whether we think the 2017 Chrome buybacks are disappearing from Chrome or not, and what that funny business is all about.
I don't know. It was, like I said, it was brought to I thought it was weird because it was brought to my attention originally because I went to the U.S. site and it wasn't on the U.S. site.
Yeah. It was only on the U.K.
It was only on the U.K. So somebody brought it to my attention, and then somebody brought
shout out DJ Cuse. DJ Cuse the hobby.
Yeah, DJ Cuse.
Dude, Syracuse bring all the value in this soccer card market, man. I tell you.
Great. He's a great collector. If we had thousands of DJ Cuses in this hobby, we would all be like way, way better off. But I mean, look, I'd like to see him because I don't think the soccer card hobby knows what to do with buybacks. Mm-hmm. Like that would be kind of funny to me, you know?
Yeah.
And they would probably have a chance because of, you know, there's no negative stigma to them. And
I mean, my thing is they're dropping enough little Easter eggs. If that happens, like there's enough little Easter eggs happening that I can almost stomach the 11,000 case print run. Almost. Not quite. I'd like it to be half.
Yeah. I'm not asking for the world.
Yeah. 5,500 cases seems like a lot. Seems like enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I don't see how it's not. I can't wait to see this Donruss case. I have a buddy getting one today. I kind of want to see what that looks like because those could actually be sneaky. If you're listening to this, I need to see a case broken. I need to see.
Oh, he wants to count the number. Do his
calculation. Yeah. So I can figure out some numbers. But if I would have been in the United States and had one easily delivered, like I would have gotten the case.
They weren't super easy to get. I haven't seen, like on DealerNet, I saw 2. I bought them right away. From a case, I haven't seen very many sold in cases. So
the problem with Donruss was everything sold out in that week between, or however many days it was, of gold kabooms are coming and Hendricks is coming to, you guys just got pooped on. Like here's your gold kaboom.
Crazy so they didn't have that. Out. They didn't have that card in the sell sheet. How crazy.
No.
Of course.
But because I actually went. That was the first thing I tried to do was buy blasters when that checklist and sell sheet dropped, and I saw the gold powers. I was like, that gets me excited. Those cards, like black, this is a whole nother thing. Black 1-of-1s that just don't do it for me. Super fractors do it for me. Gold vinyls, gold powers.
Anything gold, baby.
Yeah, they just like I have.
It looks clean.
Some black.
Yeah.
But so like I was like, well, you can hit rainbow anuses, you can hit kabooms.
Yeah. Took me a second. Took me a half second. I'm like, is that a parallel?
I had to get that one in.
You hit the kabooms. They've got two numbered parallels in the blasters now. Better than last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stupid green non-numbered or whatever they were.
Yeah, so like there's if and usually the print runs aren't crazy on those. So like if you want to, yeah, I'm very interested. I'm cautiously hopeful that like they turn out to be good value. But then you can't find them anywhere. So you would.
I mean, I still can't find any more of them. So at least in the places I would normally look. Yeah, no. So, we're running that. I think that'll be Sunday. No filler. There will not be a filler, I promise. All the spots will sell no matter what. And, good chat, man.
Yep. All right. Thanks to everybody for joining, asking questions, and don't throw tomatoes at me if you have, Madrid cards that or your breaker.
I promise we'll never talk about Madrid for 71 minutes ever again on this show.
Well, we didn't even this time. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we did. Well, that's true.
Let's
All right, guys,
real.
take care. Thanks for joining.